The results from Uganda's presidential election are expected to be announced this weekend. According to preliminary results, President Yoweri Museveni holds a commanding lead. Museveni is one of the largest, Africa's longest running serving rulers, actually. His main rival, pop star turned politician Bobi Wine, insists polls have been falsified. And Bloomberg Quicktake's Nalun Dugga spoke to Wine's lawyer, Robert Amsterdam, who's in close contact with the candidate. Check this out.
As of this moment, when you're interviewing me, Bobi Wine's house has just been entered by non-uniformed military, the same folks who tortured him when he was arrested in Arua a number of years ago. We're not sure exactly how he is physically, let alone in any other way in respect to this vote.
We are being attacked at home by soldiers, armed. They've not shown us, they've not told us what they intend to do. They've not told us why they're here.
Briefly explain the situation in Uganda right now. People headed to the polls on January 14th. There were reports of unrest and issues with the polls across the country. On top of that, we also saw international observers pull out earlier this week. What's happening and how are things now?
Firstly, let's be clear. This is not a free and fair election. This is a situation where Museveni is attempting to legitimize a dictatorship that to some extent has been supported by the West and the United States for reasons relating to their belief that Museveni somehow assists their security. One thing that's clear is Museveni is not working in the interests of the Ugandan people.
Robert, can you explain to us why has it been so hard to get information out of Uganda?
It's a complete internet shutdown. And one of the things we've seen in East Africa and other parts of Africa is that the telcos and the internet providers are to some extent in league with the dictators, and they engage in these internet and telephone shutdowns so that there can't be proper monitoring of the vote, and so that the opposition parties don't have a way to communicate with their inspectors. It becomes very difficult to monitor the election.
Tell us about Bobi Wine's campaign. He's a household name in Uganda and much of Africa. But for those who don't know, who is this man and why has his presence on the political stage drawn so much attention?
He's a unique individual. He's a gifted musician. He's a man who grew up in the ghettos among 34 cousins and siblings. He is, in many ways, an encapsulation of the African dream, arising from the ghetto, self-educated, self-made, and deciding, as opposed to taking the rich bling lifestyle, to give back to his people with extraordinary courage. He has faced down bullets. He has faced down a multitude of arrests, phony arrests, where they capture him, put him on a helicopter, make all sorts of threats, but then deliver him home. I mean, it's the psychological attacks as well as the physical attacks have been incredible. They've been captured by the international media.
As you just alluded to, it hasn't been an easy road for your client. Several of his associates have also been jailed. This, along with other alleged actions, has culminated into a potential international criminal court case. Bobi Wine called on the ICC to investigate President Museveni and senior officials for alleged human rights abuses. Can you tell us about the case? What prompted it and where does it stand today?
Well, I think what's prompted it is the illegal criminal activities of the regime. Documentation was put together by an American law professor who's written an excellent document that sets out in detail the ongoing, and it's an encyclopedia of the crimes that have followed and bedeviled the opposition.
This election holds weight not only in Uganda, but the whole of Africa. How will these results reverberate throughout the continent?
There is no Museveni win. That's already clear from the polls that he's lost. A Bobi Wine win would mean a tremendous sense of liberation for Bobi Wine's generation. And one of the things we have to understand is 80% of Uganda is 35 and under. I mean, Bobi Wine represents the future of Africa.
Do you have any parting words that you'd like to share about the situation in Uganda right now?
I think that the situation in Uganda is a generational battle that is being reflected, as I said, all over Africa and to some extent all over the world. We have to get over the aging despots. I mean, we've seen the terrible tragedy of Zimbabwe. And we really have to make a determination if Africa is going to be following the path of Zimbabwe or the path of Botswana. We've got to get that rail change occurring very quickly. So, again, I think right now all of our eyes, ears, and hearts have to be on Bobi Wine and his safety, and our prayers as well.
The biggest stories the moment they happen from around the globe. Subscribe to Bloomberg Quicktake now for insight in an instant.